You want to know what happens when Silent Hill and Fatal Frame tentacle together and birth a monstrosity into the world that causes revulsion not only to your very core as a human being, but also as matter itself. You got Corpse Party. It's a video game series that currently boasts a roster of 7 titles starting in 1996, with the most recent released last year. It has since been adapted into several mangas, a one-off OVA, and a live-action film by Hide Go Kill director Masafumi Yamada. But this little segment of mine is actually going to focus on the OVA series that was released in 2013 by Asread, Corpse Party Tortured Souls. This is the same studio that gave us Shuffle, Future Diary, and Gare Zero. So, A, it's going to be fucked up, as if the title Corpse Party Tortured Souls would be anything but. And also, B, this is probably one of the best animated series I have done for the show, or probably ever will. The work put into the animation heightens every aspect of the show that it was able to affect me in ways I hadn't experienced since I found Satoshi Kon. But not nearly in the same way. I've been told by many that this OVA doesn't do the games any of the justice they apparently deserve. To put that fucking mildly, some people think this series is more world-shattering and terrible than the apocalypse. But I do not currently have a means to play such titles as my PC is archaic and incompatible. However, my experience in finding this was a tad different than usual. There I was, skulking about on the internet, and boom! I came across a commentary on the first episode. Easy, right? But I did not research this show like I normally would to get an idea of what I was in for. It was about 1 in the mornings when I came across it. I decided to watch an episode before passing out. Worst idea ever. Fuck. Not only did this series give me some seriously fucked up nightmares, but also I watched it all in one night. So you want to cry and scream and take back 2 seriously damaging hours of your life? Then strap in, I'll introduce you to the gang. Firstly, before we even get into the characters, I've got to talk about Akira Iwanaga, if that's how you pronounce the fuck out of his name. The director of the series was also the one chosen to do the original Corpse Party OVA for Asread in 2012, titled Missing Footage. This director has worked on Ghost Stories, Elfen Lied, and has spearheaded a lot of the series' kingdom. But this... Holy shit, this series is a weird fucking stew. The reason for the odd label is because that's exactly what it is. Like a recipe someone was following, diverted in unexpected areas, and thus some parts are fantastic and keep you coming back for more, while others repel you simultaneously and make you want to puke your fucking guts out. Exposition dumped. Boom. So everyone, let's meet the beat.
Sparkle, sparkle.
I gotta get your opinion real quick. Doesn't this opening remind you of another? Okay. I don't even want to remember all the characters for this. And if my catchphrase half a second ago didn't let you in, you're going to be left out for the rest of this section. So, it starts off with a group of 9 people, primarily students, after hours at school telling ghost stories. They then evoke a charm they perceive to be a token of friendship that will keep them connected throughout their lives. However, as soon as everyone has their own separate piece, they are snatched from the world and end up in this twisted otherworldly plane of Heavenly Host Elementary School. These people are twice as expendable as a red shirt on Star Trek, die thrice as quickly, and 4 times more gruesome. Think Katsuma Kanazawa meets Chiaki Kon. This series strings along a plot which is excessively video gamey in style, obviously, that boasts of great ideas if not completely weak characters. Seriously, the fucking things that end up killing some of these people are downright stupid. And yes, I get that it is a combined realm of the school, as well as the influence of the main antagonist Sachiko, warping realities and driving people out of their minds before they fucking devour them. But that's what makes it worse. From what I understand of the game series, as well as what it was attempted through this was a very involved mystery with extremely detailed and complicated characters going out of their minds in all sorts of ways before they kill each other, themselves, or falling victim to the school. But these characters are nothing but raw meat set to get butchered by the very first frame fall of the show. Most of them are just simply stupid. And also, the sound brains are only bestowed on a few people, and even that can't save the majority of these staffs from falling victim to incompetence. But characters are scattered throughout different planes of the same place, and they must fight the mental intrusions, as well as the others trapped in the school who wish to skim them and wear their faces for underwear. Now, as any animation critic, theorist, maker, or breaker would tell you, the sound design and the voice acting have to be top notch. Actually, that goes for filmmaking in general. Sound is crucial for establishing any atmosphere in space and time, as well as permeate the filter of disbelief. The best example in my recent memory was Christopher Nolan's Interstellar. The sound design in this is almost too good. Not only does the score come and go with such creepy resonance as the locale and its personnel, but the sound of the violence as well as the ambience brought about by the ghosts and environmental terror is downright amazing. And I've already stated in previous videos how divisive the performances in anime can be, considering the anime may be good with horrible voice acting and vice versa. But the voice acting in this, regardless of the meatness of the characters, is fucking amazing. Meatness. Noun. The state or quality of being expendable flesh. See Yamcha. This element brings the chilling animation into a place in our minds that can easily transplant us into the world. It's so emotionally and legitimately unnerving that a connection is made to the material regardless of the story. Now, by the time the fat has been trimmed from the group, the remaining characters I actually became invested in. Note, I did not say I care for them, because each of these characters are still numbskulls. But I feel that this was in part due to the actual confines of the production. I have no issue with miniseries OVAs, but I feel that this one in particular was such a heavy setup and complexity of the scope for the story, and it just did itself injustice because it sold itself for only 4 measly episodes. If this was a one-off like Higurashi or specialized series like Ren, not only would I feel they would have probably done the justice to the source material to soothe the gaming fans, but also would have weaved a story that made us care for the characters. But due to the presentation of the story, a lot, if not most, of the sleuthing occurs off-screen. It's like the gang in Scooby-Doo had this great plan to catch the ghost, but the next thing you see is them all driving away with Fred chirping, "Great job, gang," like the thick ascot-wearing yuppie that he is. It's like if When the Seagulls Cry had decided to remove all of the mind games from the series, just placing the problem to be solved and jumping right to the end. Every series would be 4 fucking episodes if that were the case. Though, to be fair, even as the complexity of the overall puzzle is watered down more than a Coors Light, it's piss. It still gets the point across without sacrificing its plot. It's true, Shakespeare did say brevity is the soul of wit, but guys, brevity does not mean that you cut out the best part of the story for more Hansel and Gretel inspired children bleeding high schoolers like emaciated pigs. Even if they deserve their fate. You have to show why they do. For example, the character Moshige, who was introduced in the blood-covered remake, goes batshit within a handful of scenes. Now, if it were like a constant barrage of sick and twisted shit that some of the characters experience, I could understand. But it doesn't happen that way. We're given a taste of characterization with some allusion to possible pre-existing psychopathic tendencies, but nothing is really explored before he goes cuckoo's nest. And after he fucking whacks out, his resolution is brought in so swiftly that the tension couldn't even build enough to make the characters feel really in danger. But one of the reasons that this works at a surface level is because that every character is subject to the same treatment. Anytime parts of the mystery come into play, the discovery or involvement is by convenient happenstance in the plot. Again, sacrificing much more than the characters to the grinder in this one. Overall, if you want a better story experience, by all means stick to the games. I really hear they are some of the best that the JRPG field has to offer. But, if you want some visceral aspects with plenty of nightmare fuel, then I actually might still not recommend this series even still. Sure, you very well might get that. The animation and mood are stellar and chilling to my very core, but it is still nothing particularly original. It was just a retread that was retreaded extremely well. I'd say if you want to scare the living shit out of your mind that you'll need PTSD drugs to help you limp along into your latter years, stick to things like Genocyber, Ichi the Killer Episode 0, or Rikio Wall of Hell. They have much better stories and characters. Some not by much, but still better. But, as you know, I'm a glutton for punishment. So the next episode, we got a real doozy of a snoozy. We'll be covering the 2000 OVA series by Norihiko Nagahama, Bondage Mansion.